Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be another classic movie review for you guys. I did promise you guys I would review one more movie to you. And this movie that I'm reviewing to you, I am so happy I'm reviewing this movie to you guys because I have literally been searching everywhere for this movie. I've wanted to see this movie for the longest time. Ever since I saw the trailer for this movie, I've wanted to see this movie for such a long time. I was planning on reviewing it to you guys last year. I didn't get a chance to because the disc I had from my library was scratched, so I couldn't do that. I looked everywhere for this movie. All I found was the extended cut of this movie. I wanted to review the theatrical cut of this movie, and I found it on this very helpful website called Putlocker. They have, like, free movies on there, so that was a good thing. And I can finally review this movie to you. Now, the movie I'm going to be reviewing to you guys is the 2000 dramedy music classic, Almost Famous. Now, as I said, this is a movie I've been wanting to review for so long, and I absolutely was really looking forward to this movie. And what I think Almost Famous is by far one of my favorite movies of all time. I absolutely love this movie. Obviously, I loved it because, you know, it's about music and everything, and that's my forte, as you guys know. Music's my forte, things like that. You know, specifically theater, but music in general is my forte. But, you know, it's a fantastic movie. I absolutely loved it, and I loved every minute of it. I thought it was a great movie. So, basically, Almost Famous is kind of a, you know, long plot, but let's just get into it. The main plot basically focuses on this kid, Will Miller, and when we first see him, he is a 11-year-old boy. He is kind of picked on because he's in, I believe, like, 6th grade or something. He's in, like, he's in 6th grade or something like that. I don't remember what grade he's in. But he's in a much higher grade than what he should be in. He's in a much higher grade than what he should be in. He's constantly picked on because of, like, his voice and things like that. Because he's 11, and he's in, like, a much higher grade than he should be. But his sister kind of is starting to rebel against her mother. You know, his sister played by Zoe Deschanel, and she is basically, you know, letting her not shelter her, basically. She ends up running away, and this really impacts him, because when Will turns into a teenager in 1973, which is where most of the movie takes place, he really gets inspired by her, because he doesn't want to be treated like a normal boy anymore. He doesn't want to be treated like a teenager. He wants to do something impactful with his life. He wants to have some sort of an impact on something. You know, he wants to do something big. So, you know, he's really into music and everything. He decides to start to, you know, pretend to be an older person to write for Rolling Stones. He wants to be a reporter and write for the Rolling Stones. And he starts following around this band. You know, he starts following around this. He, you know, wants to, like, interview a band, but he ends up following this band called what are they called? I can't remember what the band's called. He ends up following this this band called, I can't remember what the band is called. Oh my god. Stillwater. He ends up following this band called Stillwater, a, you know, fictional band, but, you know, he ends up following them, and he ends up going on tour with them, basically, so he can write about them, report about them. Now, meanwhile, there is this girl, Penny Lane, who he instantly is infatuated with. He really likes her, and, at the same time, though, the lead, she has a crush on and wants to basically be with. She is, the band's Band-Aid, which is not a groupie at all. She is there to support them. She's specifically just a fan of the band that's there to be with them on tour. That's what a Band-Aid is, basically, and if they need any help, she's there for them. But the lead singer of the group, Russell, also has an interest in her, and basically wants to be with her as well. And that's basically what the movie's about. There's a lot going on, I know. It's a very, you know, complex plot. It's not really a complex plot, but it's a lot more easier to explain than how I just explained it, but that's pretty much the plot of the movie, and I absolutely love this movie. Let's get to the acting in this movie. The acting in this movie was fantastic. The acting was so, so good. Patrick Fugit as William Miller. I found myself relating to this kid. I really did. Let's just think about it. He is a 15-year-old boy. He really doesn't want to be, you know, a normal teenager. And me too. I don't really want to be seen as just a teenager that did nothing. I want to be seen as someone who made some sort of an impact on society. I did something big, and YouTube is fine with that for me, but for him, he really wanted to write for Rolling Stones. You really saw his passion for music, everything he does in the movie, he has a passion for. Whether it's music, whether it's his love for Penny, whether it's, you know, being rebellious, anything he does in this movie, he has a passion for, and he did an awesome job in this movie. Very, very good job. I don't know what else this kid has done since then. I don't think he's done really anything else. I'm pretty sure he hasn't really done... No, he hasn't really done anything else after this. He's done stuff, but nothing like that big, actually. And this is the only thing he's really known for, but he did a really great job. Michael Anguarnaro as the young William was also very good. Billy Crudup as Russell. Very, very good. I really enjoyed his character, and one of the things that I really liked about his character specifically was you could see that he had a lot of problems, and his, William's mother kept saying to him, "You're gonna get some help at some point. You're gonna get some help," because, you know, he has, like, drug problems and things like that. I thought he did a very good job. I loved the, you know, like, the banter between him and William. And the thing is, he never actually wants to be interviewed by William. He always says, "No, no, no, I don't want to be interviewed." And I really enjoy his character. He was a very good villain in the movie. Later, he's a good friend to him, though. Frances McDormand as Elaine was hilarious. I thought she was really funny, actually. The way that she just hated rock music and thought rock music was like the devil's music, it was hilarious, honestly. The one scene, there were so many funny scenes with her. I mean, she was honestly really funny in the movie. You know, she was a good mother to her son, you could see that. The first time he goes with this band, she kind of embarrassed him and says, "Don't take drugs," and everybody laughs, but she did a very good job, and I thought she was really funny. Kate Hudson. Normally, Kate Hudson is in very shitty movies, very shitty roles. She's not a really good actress. But in this movie, that's not the case. She is awesome in this movie. She actually was nominated for an Oscar for this movie, which she definitely does deserve because she's awesome in this movie. And I thought she did a very good job. I really enjoyed her character. I enjoyed that, like William, she had a real passion for music and things like that. I really like that about, you know, her character. She did a very good job in the movie. And I don't know if she was my favorite in the movie, but she was probably my second favorite in the movie. She was very, very good. And then I'll talk about two supporting roles, one that's big, one that's not so big. Jason Lee as Jeff, I thought he was very good, actually. There's a big scene in like the first 25 minutes of the movie where William's interviewing Jason Lee's character, and he basically talks about, you know, how much of rock music, you know, how important rock music is and things like that. And it really just shows how much of a passion he has for rock music and things like that. It was a really great monologue that he gave. I really love that about his monologue. I thought he did a very good job, and he was a very good supporting character. And Zooey Deschanel as his sister, you know, William's sister. I thought she was very good. She is in she's only in like 2 scenes throughout the whole movie, but she is still very, very good in the movie. I still thought she did a very good job in the movie. I mean, Zooey Deschanel is always great, but she was great in this movie as well. So yeah, she was definitely very good. Now let's get to the directing of this movie. The director of this movie is Cameron Crowe, and he did a great job. He actually won for Best Screenplay for this movie, which I do think it deserves because it is a very good movie. And he's done a lot of other things. He's done Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Say Anything. This is what he's best known for, is his coming-of-age movies. And this is what he's most known for, is these, like, coming-of-age stories. And Almost Famous is no exception. He did a very good job with it, and Almost Famous, while it might not be his most famous one, get it? Famous, Almost Famous. That was no pun intended, by the way. He still did an amazing job with this movie. I thought he was very, very good, and I really enjoyed his directing the movie as well. Set the tone very well. The music in this movie, oh my god, the music is so great in this movie. It has a really great soundtrack. This is one of the best soundtracks of all time, in my opinion. I loved all the music to this movie. I was really into the music in this movie. That's one of the best parts of this movie, is the music. And I absolutely love the music. I thought the music was wonderful in the movie. It was fantastic. Let's get to the spoilers. There are a couple spoilers. If you guys have not seen Almost Famous, which I highly recommend you guys do see Almost Famous because it's a very good movie, don't watch this review. Go watch Almost Famous, and then you can watch this review. Okay. So the biggest thing we have to talk about, of course, I think, is the plane crash. that was probably the most intense scene of the movie. You know, they're in that plane crash, and that's when all the secrets come out, and one of the big secrets, you know, is that that's when we actually see William get mad, because, of course, as we know, Penny was kind of neglected by the band, and she started to do drugs, and she almost died of a drug addiction, of, you know, like a drug overdose. She passed down, she almost died because of it. When we found out her real name was Elizabeth, I was like, okay, that's interesting. You know, I thought that was a pretty good reveal, the way they did that. But when he yelled at them and said how much he loved her, and how much he cared about her, really, I thought that was very well done, that whole scene where he says how, look, she has been the biggest fan, and you guys have not, you know, you guys can talk about how much you love your fans, and she's been your biggest fan the whole time. You've treated her like shit, basically. And I thought they did, you know, that was an awesome scene right there. Like, really, that was great. And then, as we know, he does end up going back to Rolling Stones to, you know, report to them back what he learned. But the band, you know, lies to them and said, oh, none of that was true, because they're pissed off at him right now because of, you know, what he just said to them and everything. So they're kind of pissed off at him. By the way, thank God they didn't die. I thought something bad was going to happen to them in that plane crash, and nothing happened, you know, as we know, the plane was okay. But basically, you know, that was definitely a very, big scene. I was like, wow, they actually said it was all a lie. And, you know, then he ends up defeated and then he ends up kind of, like, defeated and everything. And then when he got his sister and mother to, reconcile, I thought that was really good. But then, of course, Penny gets Russell to make amends with William. That was kind of like her last, thing that she did for William. And then when William and Russell made up, I thought that was a very good scene, because as I said, Russell never wanted to be interviewed, and of course he finally did let William interview him, and I thought that was very good, you know, because he kept saying, I don't want to be interviewed, and I thought he did a very, very good job with that. And, you know, that scene was definitely very, very good. And I love the ending of the movie, too. I love that in the end, yes, William did get what he wanted. He did publish a very famous article, and that was very good. Now, if you guys don't know, I forgot to say this, the movie's actually based off of Cameron Crowe's life. Cameron Crowe was actually a reporter for the Rolling Stones, in case you guys didn't know that. I looked this up online, but it basically said that this movie is based off of Cameron Crowe's actual life. He was actually a reporter for the Rolling Stones when he was a teenager, so this movie's kind of based off about that, and I think that's very interesting, actually, and Cameron Crowe was really the perfect guy to direct it, because he knew exactly what was, you know, what would happen if a kid really did do this, and I thought it was great that that happened. But overall, I absolutely loved Almost Famous. I thought it was a really great movie. I really recommend you guys watch it. It's a very fun movie, too. You know, don't think it's a it's a dramedy, definitely. There's some very funny moments in the movie, but it really does deal with some great great things as well. For example, you know, the whole movie is about do something with your life. Do something meaningful in your life. When you're a teenager, don't waste your life and things like that. Do something meaningful with your life and make an impact on your life somehow. Make an impact on someone or yourself or anything. Just make an impact on something, and that's really what the movie's trying to say. I highly recommend, though, you guys do check out Almost Famous, because it is a classic, and it's a very, very good movie. Definitely check it out. And I'm really happy I watched it, because I've been wanting to see it for so long. But that's my review of Almost Famous. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for tonight's episode of Big Brother 15. So, I mean, 15. Big Brother 16. Oh my god, I really fucked that up. Sorry, guys. Big Brother 16. So, I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.